And I press the button. I can clean up my desktop because there's a few things. Good evening, one and all.
Hi, live. Hi. Yay, world. Look, it's the world, Samuel.
It is the entire world. All 7 billion are watching us. That's the most lie. This is the first live we've done in a while that's like so impromptu. We didn't even know about it until like 10 minutes ago, max.
I want to thank Jonathan Alvarez for helping us out with this.
This is the first live.
So, there you go.
Poop didn't change the name of the live stream. Damn it. That's one thing I didn't change.
Kind of important.
Yep. What did we name the thumbnail? I've already forgotten. Are you changing it?
Yeah, sure. Start talking.
Hello. Hi. Oh, Alan, you're still awake. So yeah, ignore the name. My bad. This is so impromptu. It's great, but this is a very, very special live stream because we've got absolute brand new information, facts as it were, about the Discovery Enterprise, and these are so brand new that we are so unprepared. But actually, we've got quite prepared in the very few minutes we've had to prepare this. We've got cheeky news, cheeky things, and this could be a saving grace for at least the way the Discovery is going to season 2. Yeah. So Stuart.
Yes.
Why on earth? And I've got some other images. Why on earth do we have this picture up of this? And why is a crew member on Discovery wearing a white hoodie and glasses and a water bottle? That's weird. Who is this new character? Is this the guy from the future?
I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. That's just stupid. No, this is a behind-the-scenes clip from a behind-the-scenes documentary with Sonequa Martin Green talking about her coming back to season 2, and so that's a director or camera crew or somebody. So anyway, behind her is what we're looking at today. There's actually a full display of a TOS style Constitution class with the white hull with straight struts with slits in them, but that's okay. And some actual statistics, lengths, numbers, crew. We have all the information presented there. It is readable.
Except the one fact that is the actual length. The one last big fact.
Well, we can figure out the length based on the width and the height, because if they're the same, they're the same.
But this is the ship we're looking at today, the Discovery Prize. I just want to show one little thing before we get started. Look, I have an animation that I accidentally forgot I'd made like 6 months ago based on the Adversaries model. What do you guys think? I completely forgot I made it. So there is world premiere of my animation.
Can you zoom in on just... Yeah, can you zoom in on just the Enterprise thing? Because I don't want to see Burnham.
No, I will do. I just want to show off. This is the ship we're talking about today, and this is how it looked in the... This is important, how it looked in the final episodes. The Adversaries model with move pylons, very grey colour scheme, cage-style plating there, all the things. But this is the important image. This is what we're looking at today. And obviously you can see why this piqued our interests reasonably heavily.
So zoom in on that, yeah.
Facts and things and bobs. And I will actually have to share this baby because this is this is important for the Trek community.
Yeah, because I don't even have this on I only have it on my phone, so I can't even look at it on my screen. I gotta look at the live stream.
Well, there you go.
Did you just send it?
No, but it's on the live. But yeah, I'll send it. Well, it's in the email, isn't it? Oh,
yeah. Hold on.
Okay.
Anyway, so yes, what did we have there for height? What's it say on the screen there?
Yep. So the height. Now we know, and I can background recheck, but it's readable. The height of this ship is 72.8 meters.
Ooh. Because the Franz Joseph has it at 72.6 meters.
And that might be a 6 or an 8 based on the poor graphic quality.
Okay.
But I did measure the actual physical real Connie model from Intermo Dark, which I measured. It did perfectly to scale. And just the fact that one formal measurement now out of the blue matches the correctly scaled ship. There's been 50 years of history rather than the about 30-40% upscaled ship is tremendously good news, and we are blown away by this. I want to bring it to you all because we think maybe the Discovery Enterprise has been rescaled, formally rescaled.
And Steve, we can't send this link share a link to the picture because this is from a video that we just screenshotted, so we don't have an actual picture link to link to.
And this is ultra mega, super ultra mega breaking news. So it's kind of like this hasn't been released super publicly yet.
Are you going to share the link around on the pages while I?
Yes, I don't know if you want to vamp. So yes, vamp.
Vamping, yay! All right, so this was actually shared to me by Jonathan Alvarez. So thank you, Jonathan, if you're watching. If you're not, you should be. Get on here. He brought it to my attention, and we jumped right on it. You can actually zoom in pretty good on the picture and actually read almost everything. The only one thing we do need is the length, but it's right in front of, and because it's a discovery screen and it's clear, there's a light behind it, so we can't really see the length. However, the height and the height matches up with the Franz Joseph, so that's always a good thing. That means that the ship could be getting retconned in scale or in universe. It's probably interesting to point out too that the graphic says Starfleet Command and all systems offline for the Enterprise. So it looks like it might be going for maybe some kind of refit. I don't know if this is at the end of the season, possibly, because they are just wrapping up filming now, and this just came out. So who knows? But it could be that the Enterprise goes the whole season as the one we saw at the end of season 1, and then at the end of season 2, it goes in for a refit of some kind, maybe because of battle damage, maybe something happens at the end, and this is the new specs that they're coming up with, which actually falls in line closer with John Eve's original version for the ship with the straight struts. So maybe they changed to the angled struts just so they could do this.
Well, that's the irony. That design was there, they bought it, they commissioned John to design it, and that was the approved design, and the VFX guys changed it after. So maybe the producers didn't know necessarily that until right at the end. They were like, well, we've already got this design we bought and paid for, let's put it back to where it was.
Or the fan reaction was so much that they're like, why did we change that? We got to fix that.
I mean, it was primarily positive, but simple things can go a long way. And and to be fair, imagine if the Discovery producers actually really think this through, and you create this massive fan reaction. Well, it's sort of Arcani, but not quite. Ooh, better than JJ, but not quite right. To then change the 3 little details, and then bit of change at the end of season 2, put them back to what they should be. And now you've got this progression, this evolution, and you
still have 7 years to get rid of the slits in the struts and a few other changes to the nacelles that we can see, and the big impulse deck on the back of the saucer.
And Will Wright the third says, what changes do you see? Well, in the picture, it's hard to see in the stream because we're transmitting an image via, it's multiple compressions, but the whole color, the whole surfacing is completely different to how it was in the end of Discovery. It's now a clean gray, and you can see it's clean, and then you cut the Discovery one, and it's this dark plated. It's not the same hull texturing. It's lost the cage details at the side. I think the front is a little bit different.
And also the cutout at the back of the secondary hull is more in line with TOS now. It's not as long. So there are subtle changes here for sure, and it's official. It's on screen. It's on their display.
Just released to the public, and we got it a little bit before the rest of the world because they told us where fan told us.
Yeah, and it still maintains the large impulse deck like we saw in the Discovery Enterprise, and a few other things that are very subtle changes. But like we said, even if they change it at the end of the season, it still gives them 6 to 7 years before Kirk gets command to do another refit. And the only thing I'm worried about is sizing.
Which, if you want to reiterate for those new people, if I zoom in, it's hard to see, I know, but the scale, it says secondary hull specifications. It gives them all. We can read nacelle size and length, secondary hull size and length. Overall dimensions, can't see length or width, but the height, 72.
The height's exactly the same as the
8.
Franz Joseph Technica manual.
And I don't want to do necessarily too many graphs.
And it should be pointed out to you guys that tomorrow we're going to be filming a piece on this, like a very concise video talking about this and having some good renders and
graphs
stuff. Hopefully,
and diagrams. We're going to keep it very much first look, very much free flow. Talk to you guys, see what you guys think.
But this is just breaking news. Yeah.
Because I do want to bring in I guess a shot, because you might as well bring a shot, mightn't you?
Yeah. Chive Bacon puts in $10. Welcome, Chive. Good to see you back. Whoa, Cap just joined. Are they using the concept now for the official Enterprise? Yeah, it's more like the one John Eves got signed off on before the visual effects team changed it. So, as we kind of discussed, did they change it just so they could change it again later, or did they change it thinking that's a good idea? Fan backlash and was so much that they're like, we'll just change it back. It's okay.
But again, the backlash is interesting because it's Jonathan Alvarez, my screenshot. Yes, Jonathan, woo!
Yes, well, I've already thanked you multiple times, Jonathan, for that. Thank you very much for bringing it to our attention.
You are called Mr. Breaking in our breaking news. No, it's interesting because the scale dilemma, the scale retcon was totally dumb because Brian Fuller, their art direction, the effects team, need to see the window, need to upscale the bridge for that. These things were all done by the original team members. We've said before, that's one of the few things that we can accept a visual reboot, but when you change scales that then retcon can't make sense, you're breaking a fundamental. Whereas this ship now, at this scale, if it's the same scale, can easily be refitted into the TOS Connie. Easily. And yes. I think you could probably argue from Cage to this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Although the size issue, because we've talked a lot about how it's been upscaled for Discovery. Here the height is the same though as the Franz Joseph Technical Manual.
That's what I mean.
So I don't know how they're gonna.
Well, let me cut to this shot. So this shot is the scale as Eagle Moss presents it, for the scale of and other because they've been put into production model kits and such of this Enterprise, and you can see it fits perfectly in line with Shinjo.
Yeah.
But the Connie, you can see plainly well, the height of the ship is not the same for both the Discovery Prize and the TOS Connie, and yet this new Canon document on screen, it does in fact say the same height. Now, possibly we could be jumping the gun. This could be a good researcher's find, and seeing, oh, that's what the size of the Connie is. We haven't talked to our posse. This is what we think it is. And the effects team still not doing whatever, which would be a shame. Or they've made the simple thing of saying, "Boom, season 2. This is a new scale. We're not necessarily going to change the windows. Fuck it, whatever."
Yeah, and to be perfectly fair, we didn't hear canonically on screen any of the length at all. We just saw the Enterprise at the end. The length that we're using is from Eagle Moss,
which is the official from the VFX department.
It is. Eagle Moss and Round 2 is also releasing a model kit with the same kind of sizing. So that's what that's based off of. It's not like we invented that. I got to eat, guys. This is breaking news. This food was out of the way already, so I'm hungry. So
please do a little samosa before this happened. But this is really, I mean, just the fact that this ship is different, is more grey. I mean, real simple things you can do. Because, I mean, ironically, John Eves was told creatively to make the Discovery Prize 25% different. Not legally, but creatively, because, own unique flair. That was taken into account, but the paint scheme does create a distinct feel. When you bring the paint scheme back to a TOS feel, which I will say is actually close to Discovery, in terms of its cleaner feel. It just happens to be copper, because Brian Fuller wanted copper. That's the only reason that ship's copper. The only reason. It would have been normal colour if... So you add that plus the pylons back again. This ship is we can still see the see-through pylons. Bit of a shame. Again, easy change.
Jesus puts in $2 and says, "Captain, can you tell us what you're eating?" Burger King. I got a spicy chicken sandwich and some fries. Thanks to my beautiful wife.
He's got a burger from Burger King. And thank you to the amazing fans that are super chatting already. Please do donate and let us know what you think, because we're spending a bit of oops, we didn't mean to, we have other things to do, but we're sort of jumping on just talk about this with you live. And so it'd be nice to have some super chats to let us know. We obviously have to read your comments. If you have comments on this, please, and we can let you know and put information to you, because I'm encouraged by this. And what's interesting is that whatever you say about the teams, they knew this was going to come out like this. They knew this image was going to be looked at, dissected, and they could have done anything. And this was their chance to solidify it.
True enough.
And the fact that this, or this, I should say, now is...
Because they didn't obscure any of it except the length, and that's not even because they did anything. They could have concluded any other shot where like half the screen is missing, blocked by Burnham. So,
yep. Can you see the size comparison, please? I haven't done any yet because we need to. Because like I said, I can mathematically remeasure these. Because in all fairness, if you go back to the current Canon size measurement, you can see that the nacelle length, I think you'll agree, Stuart, the nacelle length is not the same on the two ships. Is that a fair assessment based on this image that you're seeing right now?
Well, I can't see the full image. It's like cut in half.
Oh, sorry. Oops. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's because I'm doing different things. But you can see how the nacelle length is different. Fair to say on two ships. It's
I'd say.
Yeah, but we now have a direct number for that. And that number is 153.8 or 6 meters. So that is the nacelle length, which matched the original Connie. So now isn't necessarily technically the same exact length, but tomorrow I'm going to take the nacelle, which we have the exact measurement for, and then rescale the Discovery Prize model, a Canon based model, and show you the actual current retcon size. Because it will be proportionately different. But
and it's worth pointing out that in the Franz Josef technical manual, the overall length is 288.6 meters for the ship. The height that we do see on that screen does match almost exactly. It looks like a 72.6 or 72.8 on the screen, and in the Franz Josef technical manual, it is 72.6. So you're not going to have that height with a longer length. So we're assuming the length right now is 288.6 meters. That we can't see in that picture just because it's Discovery and it's a clear screen and there's a damn light behind it.
And we're lucky
if they had actual real screens, but whatever.
And we're lucky that Jonathan Alvarez managed to take a good quality high-res picture that we can actually read these things. That was obviously a big deal. And again, I apologise. The stream quality will alter how much can be seen by you guys at home. But we will do a video on this tomorrow, being very short, analytical, and graph-based. And these are pretty clean orthos. So I can do exact comparison shots as well. And there are some other things to talk about in this as well, because again, this is now what is on screen. And if they're filming this at the moment, this is the current.
Before you go any further, though, somebody asked about the live stream tomorrow. It's not going to be a live stream tomorrow.
No.
We're going in to film like our normal format, so we can edit it and put in all the renders, and then that'll be available very soon for you guys to watch. We need to film it tomorrow, so it won't be live tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tony puts in $5. Why the huge difference in size? Well, that's the ongoing question. Who knows? Who knows?
Well, as you know, it's the joke about it. It doesn't necessarily matter what the size of a ship is. Not really. If they know what, okay, you've got these interior sets, you can make them a fit. But we've been told this by inside sources. When they reach the VFX stage of these models, when there's no windows on the Discovery, no windows on the Shinjo, no windows on anything, which is what you things with size, they put the bridge inside the bridge dome of Discovery, and they needed the window. They were told to put the window, and when they saw it, the window took up the entire bridge dome, and the word was vulnerable, which is not what we've said all the whole time, you know. And so the producers said, upscale it until it looks right, and that's how they upscaled the franchise, because they needed the window to look not out of proportion with the ship.
Yes,
one decision.
Exactly.
Early on, did that all, and rejuvenated this part of Canon. And I'm fine with the TARDIS effect. We know the JJ Prize has that. I'd rather have a consistently small ship and then bigger interiors. It's like, whatever, do it. You know, I'd rather have that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and to bring up briefly, but they did reveal, in fact, they are building the Enterprise bridge. Been revealed formally.
Yep.
Also, news, guys.
Yeah, because there's a picture of Orsi with somebody else saying that the bridge is behind the. Yeah, the bridge is behind the camera, but if we showed you, we'd have to kill you.
Which in itself is really interesting, because they're right at the end of production / reshoots. How much can they really build? Like, bridges costed back in the day like 50k, 100k, 200k to make, because they were like one of the biggest expenditures of the show. So how do you justify that in the budget unless you build like a little chunk and then you got to CGI the rest? You know, it doesn't seem practical unless they know season 3 is commissioned, or the spin-off is commissioned, or a reboot Pike show, because then building the bridge would be worth it. because everyone's liking Pike so far. So maybe they retcon down the size, retcon the design a bit as the refit, the season 2 end of refit, and then I think we'd all accept this design as oh cool, that's a nice mid season refit, mid lifespan refit. But Steve Montinho says, "Where's all this news from?" Stuart, where's this news from? Because this is real breaking news.
Jonathan Alvarez, where's this news from? It's from a behind the scenes video that was released earlier today, talking about Sinequa Martin Green back on season 2 of Discovery and her experiences. She's excited to be back. All this, and this is one of the scenes from it. I haven't yet seen it because it's region locked. But we did get this screenshot and some information from Jonathan Alvarez, who's in the chat right now. So he might be able to tell you more about it in the chat there.
We jumped on it like wildfire. You can see the original image. We didn't Photoshop this. We didn't make it up. this is a real thing, and we're just being very, very breaking news with you. Cry bacon. It's fake news. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Have y'all done a comparison between the Kelvin Timeline Enterprise and the Discovery one yet? Yes. Please go look.
Yes.
Yeah, and guys, please do super chat to support this channel and have your comments heard, because that's fun too. So we've got a number of people in the chat right now.
And it's late for Samuel. It's late for me. I'm sorry I'm eating. I apologize, but breaking news. Sure, it's not a fake leak. Yeah, it's not a fake leak. Although that being said, now I'm like, which region I can get to a few through work. I'm not sure. Just Jonathan Alvarez is in the chat. He should be able to tell you where he's at, but sorry, Bird of Prey. Didn't mean to make you hungry. Why? So I'm loving what I'm seeing so far with the similarities to for sizing from what we can see compared to the Franz Joseph Technical Manual, because they're bringing it right back to the original. Because there's been a few alterations even to that size over the years, like a couple meters here and there. So, is there more exciting stuff in that video? As I said, I don't know. So I haven't seen it yet. I will keep an eye out for it. I'll probably be available in the next day or so for everybody else. But this is something that we felt as the ship guys we needed to jump on ASAP. So Midnight Edge After Dark has finally gone live. Got to run. Well, bye, Captain April. We see how it is. So no coming back if it's a prank. Well, it wouldn't be a prank.
I wonder if they went live because until we went live with the information. I wonder.
I doubt it, but we'll see.
But yeah, we're excited to go to tomorrow and have a look at it. And show, we're the only group out there that can make new renders and new comparison charts. Other groups just have to show images. We can show new things and prove it and show it. And
we're going to have a fantastic video on it. James Miller says, wait, are you guys saying that Disco Prize is looking more like the actual Enterprise? Yes. As you can see on the display behind her, it's got the white hull markings as opposed to the dark gray, black look of Discovery. And it's got straight struts, exactly like the concept one that John Eves designed for the show that got taken out of his hands and then changed by the visual effects artist to have the angled struts. So...
Takedown notice coming away in 3, 2, 1. Nope, because this image was publicly released all of America. So
yeah,
it's worldwide in their service. Just we have to be shared it by a friend. It's still public to how many millions of people? So not sure how it works. I missed a lot. What was the length of Disco Prize? Here was the original length of the Disco Prize as confirmed by Eagle Moss and others. As you can see, a little bit bigger, just a little bit, and we know that based on these new Canon in-universe numbers. Now, someone did point out, though, that what if, and this would be another little flaw, what if this chart was a graphic that was made based on concept art? Because, yes, it looks like concept art. or at least it looks more like John's concept art, and numbers based on concept art.
Seems like a drastic waste of time because it's physically on the set, it's on the screen. So,
but we do know they did that for Shinjo. The thing in the turbolift was a wrong diagram because they used earlier things.
Now, yeah, what interests me is the red part that says that inactive. Let's see, I gotta pull up my image here. Yeah, all systems offline, right underneath the Enterprise. So it seems like it's going to be going in for dry dock or something. Now, Samuel, I don't know if you can see.
Yes.
Right in her small of her back. If you zoom in, it looks like the Constitution class saucer behind her on the panel. Behind that panel.
Mm-hmm. Could be scanning it and such. Yeah, it does.
It looks like the same graphic actually, because it's got the red on the left there saying all systems offline. So it looks like the exact same image. So anyway, I just noticed that. So
yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that would fit. Yeah. And again, at some point you gotta appreciate that I don't think the people on the team, because I just replied to the person that said, oh, it's probably concept art. I said this concept art was made near the end of season 1, but before they actually knew that was the ending, they rushed shot into production. And then this graph was not in season 1. It was not made for season 1 because season 2 was filmed many months later. So they'd have to have made it for season 1, knowing they weren't going to use it for season 1, and then put it out of storage, knowing they've now changed, knowing it's not what the Enterprise looks like, because they were so careful to say in the calendar, John Eve Scott Schneider, change it for a calendar. So you're saying that they would say, well, we're not going to spend a little bit, spend $500 to update a graphic that we've got 8 months to change. They'll be on screen in the first season of second season. Mm-hmm. It doesn't quite make sense they would use a year and a bit old concept art and numbers. Yeah. I don't think that's likely.
Well, there are a few differences though, because it says cruising speed of warp 5, maximum of warp 8, which is the same as the TOS Enterprise. The Franz Joseph has it as maximum safe cruising speed as warp 6. This one says warp 5. Now the phasers and photons is where it gets iffy for me, because it said this one. The graphic on the Discovery thing says 8 phaser banks and 2 photon torpedoes.
Yes.
There's only, as per Franz Joseph, there's 3 main banks, 2 each. Actually, they copied it exactly from this as well. 3 banks, 2 each, so that's 6 phasers, and then photon torpedoes, 2 banks. But I don't ever remember there being 2 banks on the original Constitution class for torpedoes, because we never really saw where they got launched from. They're just on the lower dome, so I always thought there was 1. But
you could obviously have ALF torpedoes like Defiant. I mean, there is now a canon where the Defiant has ALF torpedoes, so I mean there is distinct precedent for this. That and sorry guys, I realized that I was doing a wrong thing to zoom out. Now it's much clearer now. Sorry about that, guys. Different programs doing different compressions. But yeah, and I'm intrigued by that warp thing. Warp 6 and then, I mean, again, it's really hard to see, but it looks like warp 6, then warp 8, cruising, and then maximum warp 8.
Well, then it's exactly the same if it's warp 6.
Yeah, and
like
again,
warp 5 earlier, so
again, it's really hard to see. And that's great. These things are the things that are established. It'd be nice to say they went back and used them.
Even the standard range has 18 years. Mm-hmm. It's got the 18-year lifespan there, Endurance. 5-year mission profile. Yep.
Launch date 2245 AD. San Francisco Fleet Yards. Now either it's 100,000 metric tons or 150 or 190,000 metric tons. Does that say for you?
Franz Joseph says 190,000.
Yep, that looks 190. Yep.
Yeah.
Ship's complement 430, 43 officers, 307 unlisted, and I can't see the last thing, but 430.
Yeah, in the Franz Joseph, it's officers of command rank 43.
Yep.
Crew ensign grade 387.
87, okay. Well, which makes sense. I only see it as a 0, but yeah. and obviously heavy cruiser, Constitution class, Enterprise, 1701. So all these numbers seem to match the official, the original official canon.
The official, unofficial Franz Joseph, because yeah, Franz Joseph was official for a little bit, kind of, and then him and Gene had a falling out, and then kind of discredited all of Franz Joseph's work. So it's interesting that it's exact match though for the technical manual. No, I'm looking forward to, again, I keep saying this, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do and how they do it, because there's definitely ways to fix things. And this is the most hopeful I've been in quite a while, actually, about the Enterprise specifically. It's still, like I said, in the image there, it still has the bigger impulse deck like the Discovery Prize. The struts, of course, still have the slits in them, but as we said earlier, even if they do that at the end of this season, because maybe the Enterprise gets damaged near the end of this season, it's in it for the whole season, take some damage. Even if this is the proposed new refit it for a couple of years, you still got 7 years until Kirk takes command, so you could still retcon out those those struts and the bigger impulse deck.
Well, I mean, Johnny said it was a heat sink. And when you don't need the heatsink anymore, you go in, refit, swap out the pylons, boom. I mean, clearly the secondary hull gets tweaked again, but when you make the scale about right, and we'll work it out tomorrow, the exact, if you can now, whatever. You know, we took it as you can make the Connie into the refit, which takes a little bit of jiggery-pokery. And if they could jiggery-pokery then, they could jiggery-pokery now. Whereas when you have it scaled at such a ginormously overscaled thing, then saying they're the same ship is impractical, let alone impossible. It's just not. I mean, you'd have to go from this to this back, but if you make it the same... again, I've said before, I'm happy to take out Cage. Visual continuity of Cage. I mean, lasers and the uniforms and Spock smiling, although obviously they're doubling down on Spock smiling, so I mean, they're certainly not removing that from the equation.
Jamal, it doesn't say 3,036 meters or 1,036 meters. There's a conversation going on about the hull sizing on that graphic there, Samuel.
Secondary hull is 103.6 meters, diameter 34.1.
Yep. It's got secondary hull. It's got warp unit measurements.
And that's funny that if I can tell you the measurements you're looking at in a bloody book that was written years ago, that's correct.
Yep, I'm looking at a totally different monitor. Yeah.
So nacelles, you got nacelle length then?
No, they don't have.
Okay. Do you have primary hull?
Wait a minute. Oh yes, I do have them. Holy crap.
Okay, so nacelle length is 153.8 or 6.
153.6.
Diameter 17.3. Yep.
Just give me a measurement and I'll read it before you do.
So obviously they went to the manual, the one that was used for many things, and they obviously pulled. I mean, that's not a coincidence, and you can't. It can't be upscaled anymore, guys. This is formal proof that the upscale syndrome has been redacted. Because the fact is, from those few seconds, literally those few seconds at the end of the last episode, you could argue so easily, oh, perspective was different. This, and this. You know.
But the official numbers from Eagle Moss, round 2, that's doing the model kits, are large. So, and they are official. John Arkaki puts in $20. Thank you very much, John.
Thank you.
Thanks for all the fun on Anti streams. Merry Christmas, fellas. Well, thank you very much. It's much appreciated. And yeah, hanging out on those streams is always fun. We like to goof around. So.
Oh, 20 is amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, and yes, Tim, it is Burger King. They are Burger King fries. I mean, chips, right? Yes, they're not crisp. They're chips. No, they're not. They're fries, but that's okay.
You know, it's yeah. And we'll just point out that the 2 articles of merchandise that we've seen, the Eagle Moss miniature, which they've not released the model or the magazine yet. In all fairness, So therefore, they could, if they were told, say, a month ago before the printing, so they print pretty damn close. Actually, they're a bit. We talk to them sometimes, and they're yeah. They could easily change a number if they were told to. Boom. Imagine if that came out and it's like, oh, it's the same. And then the big Mobius or whatever. Again, okay, they made some posters 6 months ago with one thing.
Mm.
Guess what? Maybe the first posters for Iron Man 2 had the same Brody from Iron Man 1, and then he wasn't there. It happens.
Yeah. Yep,
This is genuine and we know this isn't CGI. That's the joke. This was a physical made art piece that they filmed with, that the director of photography had to see, and they then chose to release in a promotional video. So you're looking.
I'm not sure how long this scene is either. It could be just a quick flash that Jamal got this from, but I can't wait to see the video myself so we can see. But anyway, continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So this is a distinct choice to release this, and if they knew that this was going to get if this was going to get completely removed, all the new models would say the other scale, and then this comes out, and it's like, well, you're going against yourself pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Tim Theo throws in $1, so thank you very much, Tim. No comment, of course, because you can't comment for that, unfortunately. Ego Moss is now saying, "Ah, damn it." Yeah, probably.
I mean, I'll tell you a little story. They released, I haven't got it yet, but they released a cool book with, all the ships from certain eras. They missed the Akira class completely. And they scaled the Prometheus heavily inaccurately. Massively.
Really?
And it's like, so Eagle Moss do get things wrong. They do. We love them, but they produce a lot of content, so it's fair enough they get a few things wrong. But Eagle Moss is not the be-all end-all. A few of the ships, what was it, Alice, or one of the shuttles, because we've got the model. They scaled it based on a number they got from somewhere. The CGI model scale is different, and neither work because you can't fit a person in it. But if you go by their scale, you literally cannot fit a person's most of his body in. So there's no thought process behind some of that stuff. They didn't even think to ask someone like me who's got the model, work it out for me that makes sense. So simple things like that shows that, well, Eagle Moss, that's why we sort of stopped using the Eagle Moss scale, because mistakes can be made. I mean, some of the early magazines, they made blatantly odd typos that sometimes change entire context of a paragraph. This Romulan cloaking device, this Klingon cloaking device, so guys, this is the scimitar. Shh, stop while you're ahead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Richard Joe, those new ship books have so many problems. I made a list and it's massive. Yeah. How do they get things wrong when there is official information? Well, VFX people change things and then get information and then it gets rechanged. I mean, that's the thing. We've got these amazing scale charts from Discovery. They're amazing.
Okay, I want to point something out too, because I did mention the phaser banks earlier. Before I do that, Michael Anderson puts in 50
SEK. I'll Google SEK. What is SEK?
I think that's Swiss. Anyway,
Swedish krona.
Yes. Man. What does it say on overall dimensions? Well, we can't get the length because there's a light behind it. But as I was going to say, the phasers, it's interesting that they say the phasers have 3 banks with 6 each, or 2 each, so 6 total. Because on the Franz Joseph technical manual, you see the 2 on the front of the BC deck. And then from the top view, you see 2 banks on the hull, which you don't see in the show. So they're literally using the Franz Joseph technical manual as the guide, as opposed to actual screen Canon. Because we really don't see many you don't see any phaser banks on the TOS Enterprise. They are very well hidden in that lower part. So I don't know. And tomorrow when we film our episode talking about all this, we'll have these visuals so you can see what we're talking about, because I have this in front of me. He doesn't. But we will be releasing a very concise episode on this. So stay tuned for that, guys. We're filming that tomorrow. Just check out the technical manual if you have the Franz Joseph one, because the specs that are on that screen that you're seeing there are the exact same as what's on there in the book. So Disco writers making mistakes. I'm shocked. Well, not that shocked. I couldn't find anything about via Google. Well, that's because it just came out, and just give it a day or so. That's why this is breaking news. So
That's why there'll be a really great video tomorrow.
yes, with some awesome visuals for when it comes out. So
because it will be pretty interesting to actually have the reconnected and
wow, it does say stream complete. Stream resumed.
okay. Woo.
All right, Maizan Schooner puts in $2 and says maybe a scam, guys. Highly unlikely because it was in a behind-the-scenes featurette. This was just a quick clip that was included in that whole thing, so that we screen grabbed, and so I don't think it's a scam. I don't see how someone else can find this, but my Google foo ain't strong enough if it is a public video. Well, I don't know if Jonathan Alvarez is still in the chat, but if he is, let them know where you saw it. He said he's found it on one of the Discovery Facebook pages that were sharing the video. So
funny old day, Stuart. Funny old day.
I mean, people are saying they could be trolling, and yeah, I guess somebody could have, but I really don't think so.
What? All of which.
Yeah,
For all of which you can say about Discovery, they haven't trolled us. They've done stupid decisions, but they haven't done two Klingon dicks to troll us. They want to do something different in the alien culture. Like, bad decisions are not trolling, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And think about how many... I mean, I saw John Eves at the destination. His thought process on this Enterprise was flawless. You know, it's only when you upscale it the things work less well.
Yeah. Let's see here. Somebody asked if it's
the guy in the hoodie is a director. That's even better.
Yeah. Somebody asked if it says Duotronics anywhere.
It does, yes. Yep.
Where is that? I'm looking for it here.
Yeah, it says.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yep. And someone points out, according to the script for the Cage, they say 103 lives. Yes, because the Cage has a smaller crew, and
yes,
which is great because that does make sense. This is after the Cage. The Klingon War refit is the version we see, and then you get the post Klingon War refit, and then you get the post Klingon War refit, and we're back to TOS.
Yeah, and Kirk has 430 personnel on board because, I mean, it's even said in the show a few times that kind of the crew complement. But the one I remember the most because I just watched it was Piece of the Action. They have over 430 guys up there. I can't do it.
There's over 430 guys up there. I'm telling you.
Yeah, there you go.
And
somebody's sharing a link. I don't know what that's for.
Clive Bacon says, "Can you show us the original John Eves concept art?" And yes, let me find that now because it is very much more similar, but it's not identical, and that I think is important because the problem with these lives, you have to reiterate things we already mentioned, which is a little bit of an annoying thing to do. But
yeah,
the hull coloring is different to the Alpha Connie or the I don't think Alpha Connie, the Klingon War Connie,
the disco prize.
Yes,
there'll always be the disco prize. We'll come up with a new name for this one, the corrected prize.
I found those. Actually, I'm right. I think the field has. I mean, again, these will be in the graphs tomorrow, guys. Even if not everything's the best picture, it's still a good example. So this is the John Eves concept art. This is his, I believe, final paint scheme, and you can see how now it's dark greys. It's, and again, we can't do well. I guess I might be do side by side, but a little bit trickier right now. But you can see the dark paint scheme. That's super distinct. That is the one they went for. I mean, that really stands out. And yet this art is clean greys. And yes, you could argue it's monochromatic. But guess what? You can see the facades being red. So guess what? It's not monochromatic. You can see color.
Yeah.
So
Neff throws in €5.
Thanks, sir.
Upgrading the 25% different Enterprise to a 10% different Enterprise, does that mean that the writing will be about 15% less incompetent as well? I mean, we're hoping. At least 15.
Yeah, no, absolutely. again, I think what we've seen from season 2.
See,
Oh.
somebody else said, looking at the video this came from, some of the real Klingons now have real batleths.
Oh.
Wow. See, we haven't seen the full video yet.
It's not public.
It was tried to. They tried to send it to me. The person that got us the screenshot, and it was region locked, so I couldn't watch it. Okay, we might have to be doing a few videos in a day or so.
Although, again, this is bloody positive, but the fact that we are given credit for actually having the correct size right for a ship that's been consistent mostly for 52 years that we've seen in every single iteration, one form or another. Not sure how they get a lot of credit for that, but this is a great sign, because if this means that end of season 2, as they have said now several times, we're going to try and move into canon, you make this change, helps a ton. You give Discovery crew TOS-ish uniforms, massive difference. And the between Discovery era, I mean, that's pretty much all you need, isn't it? you refit Discovery, give it Connie style nacelles, make that leap, fill in the hull, no more spore drive, change the paint scheme, just those few things in season 3. And maybe refit the bridge. I would love a bridge refit. It's not a very good design personally for me. Bring it in 25%. Reskin it a bit.
A good number, 25%.
25%. Season 3 could be... We see a jump. Or a leap.
Yes. David Schroeder puts in $20. Thank you very much, David. Just want to support Trekyards. Hope you two are well, gentlemen. We are well.
Buzzing.
We're kind of... Yeah. We are kind of scrambling and stuff last minute, but we are well. Tech manual shows height of 72.6 meters. Above image shows 72.6 meters. Yes. And
again, we apologise as we've gone through all this information, and anyone that's just joined us, they won't have the same luxury. You can go back and watch this in post. And hi everyone, when you watch it after the fact.
Yeah, because when we started out pretty much with all the facts, and then new people join and they don't hear that, and that's one of the things that kind of sucks about lives, having to reiterate yourself the whole time because new people join and leave and.
But again, this is the canonical. Although again, to be fair to it, the size of the Discovery Prize is not stated in canon, and the way it's shown, it could be perspectively different. So they had yet to assign a canon, which means on screen. We had a licensed official size, based on other things.
Big difference, and that's the one we've been harping on since we got it, because it is official from CBS.
Yes.
That size for Eagle Moss and for Polar Whites.
And for adversaries.
And for adversaries, yeah, exactly. So that's what we've been working with. But yes, it was never set on screen, and the way that scene ended, the Enterprise was much closer to camera. It could have been the perfect size.
And interestingly, if there's a bridge window, which we know Scott Schneider designed it to close.
Yes.
If they are building the bridge. And this now instantly gives me a lot of hope. If the bridge is just 10% bigger than the TOS bridge, that's fine. But about the same size. Update the look. There we go. And then you've got a bridge window, but then it closes. And then now you have the view screen. They could actively make this work. Because once they scale it down, they can scale down the bridge. They can do these steps of backpedaling and yet give us a sense of evolution. Because now, all of a sudden, if the Enterprise is now the size it should be, Discovery is huge. Most advanced? My arse. It's most advanced in navigation and spore tech, but not in everything else. It's got custom built everything. But you look at the Connie, and it can beat it in warp speed, it can beat it in firepower, it can beat it in, efficiency of systems. You start doing this, and doubling down again, this refit, if we assume this is a season 2, end of season 2 refit, which I think there's a lot of argument to go for, then they're refitting the Discovery Romulan Klingon War variant to be superior to the Discovery, which in itself would be over a year old by Discovery end of season 2. So if the Connie we see at the end of season 2 is then more advanced than Discovery, then Discovery becomes obsolete, and now we have full circle to it makes sense again.
Sure, yeah, that works. But they didn't have to do this. They could have made it so much easier on themselves.
And they didn't have to put these sizes out. This is whatever it might or might not mean, this was an active choice.
I think I just found the trailer, by the way.
Oh, brilliant. Is it watchable?
Mine is, yes. I'm not sure if it's the right one yet. Hold on. I will send it to you first.
Please do. So how you go? Oh, there we go. Ah, now we're getting double, triple, amazing, uber, mega, ultra live.
Oh yeah, it's new.
Okay, yep, I can watch it. And now there's an ad playing, but I don't just want to. Well, so,
sorry guys, just watching this. You talk while I watch, then we'll swap.
Okay, okay. So
now we'll switch.
Okay, so the 3-minute 26 trailer that is just been released today. Nope. What? No, that's Stuart. That was 20th September. Ah, Stuart. Stuart, man, you're breaking my heart. Yeah, you should have. Yeah. Anyway, but anyways, you guys saw our review of the season 2 trailer 2 promotional thing 3. It really was better. You know, it really was a better tonally. It was better in a few ways.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think someone maybe just had it, but that was released. Yeah, oh, I guess yesterday was. It now, yeah, it's now today for me, isn't it?
Yeah.
What to expect featurette. And so now we're both watching a featurette. And you see Section 31 ship probably. Ooh, Enterprise, Bridge, Saru. Oh dear, this is like.
First thing you see is us coming in contact with the Enterprise.
Oh, that's some audio for you.
Captain Christopher Pike requests permission to come aboard.
This is
Anyway.
onward, but I'm here at Starfleet's order to take command of the
Yeah, I'm
Discovery.
gonna go back to the chat.
Hit it.
Sorry guys.
Christopher Pike. No more.
And this is a sleek looking video. This is a well made video.
He had a vision. He called it the Red Angel.
All it takes is a few people in production to say, "Oh, let's just put this back to this." Doesn't take much, you know.
Yeah.
The executive says, "Let's change the way it's gonna go." Well, I'm trying to find it. And I can't see. Didn't see it my first watch.
Yeah, and I haven't heard from Jonathan in the chat there for a while, so I'm not sure if he's even still here.
Exciting stuff, ladies and gentlemen.
It is. It's thrilling. Yay! 305 of you are bored out of your minds. That video isn't the one this scene is in. Okay, so there we go. We've got that cleared up. 20 seconds in, says Jamal. It's on a Twitter video. Wow, we're getting a lot of conflicting information.
Yes. Yeah, it's not 20 seconds this one, but still, great to see. And again, we were positive about season 2. We've said so many times we're going to call out the good and the bad, and if they've done this, then all we can say is the people who were in charge.
I think that last link was the one. Yep, it is.
Ooh, what new link I clicked off?
The last link in the chat that was shared.
Last link in the chat. Everyone go look at
I'm
this.
watching it. Yep, there it is right there. Okay.
Okay.
And it.
Twitter, yes.
Yes, the Twitter one. That's the one.
You know.
So it is confirmed. It is
so
legit.
excited to come back.
Let's see what else we got going on here, though.
And action!
So yeah, everyone go watch the video now, but like stay on our live because we like the numbers.
I think I miss. No, we were all
Some shots of Spock's quarters as well.
We've come so many things.
Although this Twitter video is 4:3, which is actually showing any information. Although, can I see the length is still blooming in the shot? That's so frustrating.
We layered rainbow, right? Such a we had all of that are what we're doing.
Yeah, that's not helpful because it's not widescreen, so you can't see the images. Damn you! Why do they keep gating it? Jamal, a different, and that's not available in my country. Yay!
Yep, that's the issue I had too.
But I think we have another super chat from Trent. Cold cut. Look forward to seeing them side by side. Yes, me too. Me too. Oh, interesting. Eagle Moss Discovery XL edition is a 10-inch, just like the Prime 71. Yeah.
Well, that's yeah.
Thomas Harrog, I think it's already prime in terms of story. Visual canon is looser than plot, but I'm certainly happy that it's reconciling with the other shows. Yes, but visual contour has been consistent for 50 years. And they're the ones to break it and do it differently for the sake of doing it differently. That's not a good enough reason.
And then wonder why people are yelling at them because they're standing there going.
And you wonder.
Prime still.
And you wonder why they are going back. If they are going back to the original scale, that is them telling us, sorry guys, we were wrong. Guess what? Klingons, sorry guys, we were wrong. If there's a truest new Bat'leth, sorry guys, we were wrong. Klingon armor, sorry guys, we were wrong. Now, it's not people in charge now that were wrong. It's the people they put in charge for season 1 that were wrong. Just like having Ryan Johnson, sorry guys, in episode 9, we were wrong. Rey's parents aren't nobodies. Sorry guys, we were wrong. They didn't really die. Well, no, I mean, Luke didn't really die. Sorry guys, we were wrong.
All you got is Kylo's word on that, so he could be lying to her.
Geek filler. No, that's not what it's saying. Oh my god, you got two driving me insane. We're having fun with it because we've just been positive for the last, how long have we been positive for? The last hour. So I mean, we're allowed to play as well. I mean, that is what they're saying, but in the most easy to do way. It's a case of we're gonna alter the numbers to make it fit with the canon. Cool. Retcon it back to the original. That's absolutely what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know. How the hell do they retcon out the live holographic communication with Holo Sarek can sit on desk that isn't in the room he's transiting from? Too much power. All the wartime variants need whatever. I don't know. Computer virus that kills all holograms. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe the enemies can tap into the holographic interfaces. They decided to scrap them.
Roy Rainey. Yep, that is also not available in my nationality, which implies not for Stuart as well. So you know,
I will give it a try.
Fun times, fun times. And for Mark Nacaretti who's watching now, they're retconning the size of the Discovery Enterprise back to the original Enterprise. So hi Mark, let me know when you see this via Facebook to prove you watch it, Mark.
This content is not available right now for me, so yeah, that's not working for me either. But anyway, the fact of the matter is, it's out there. Thank you very much to Jonathan Alvarez for bringing this to my attention. Very much appreciated it because it gave us a chance to look at it and jump on. What?
Interesting comment. Richard Joy. Now we know why the Eagle Moss Discovery Enterprise seems delayed.
They're rewriting the information, yeah.
If that is true. I mean, that's a simple thing to do. Yeah. We're gonna do a video on this tomorrow, which hopefully you guys will all tune in to watch, showing these low res authors all again. Thank you, Jonathan, for being able to do a high enough resolution picture to just read this detail. That's amazing. It truly is. But to put these pictures side by side with the concept art, God, it's a lot of work for me, isn't it? Just concept art, which was approved, then painted, the Canon Season 1, end of season, then this one, the Canon in-universe diagram, and then the Canon a few years later, Connie. Like I said, well, I guess let's give sort of predictions now. I would say final predictions if you guys want to super chat, we'll stay a bit longer, because, please help the channel. Amazing so far, but, everyone throwing $5 and will be laughing. Laughing. My prediction is that, Season 1 of Discovery was a rushed, get the Enterprise out the door, gave John Eves enough time to do it, but they didn't really have the story worked out for Season 2. That's fine. They released it, but they didn't do it side by side. They didn't show context, and that was important. It was out of context. It was beautiful. Great. Season 2, we're going to learn...
Before you jump on that, I just want to address a comment.
Oh, do.
P says, I thought Star Trek Discovery was officially set in the Kelvin timeline to explain why military tech looks better, etc. Well, it doesn't look better, it just looks different. And no, it's Prime timeline. So it's set in the Prime universe that everything else is set in. The Kelvin's still its own thing. So there you go. Now, you're talking about Season 2.
Yeah, it's Prime timeline events, just not Prime timeline visuals. Which is also Prime timeline. Yeah. Season 2... My absolute guess is that we know Pike uses the Discovery, so guess what? They're going to say the Enterprise, something's hugely wrong, it's crippled, because they're only a few minutes from Earth. The Enterprise, I can't take her, she's damaged beyond repair internally, and if you're going to refit, we just came back from the last engagement with the last Klingon forces, we've limped here on a low warp, and we're commandeering a vessel, cool. I'm sending her back to get repaired, and then Pike doesn't realise it's getting refitted while he's away, because why wouldn't you refit a ship if it was more expensive to repair it than refit it? And so when the season's finished and then he warps back to Earth, you see a nice dry dock scene of the Discovery Enterprise, which you only saw in 2 scenes in the end of season 1 and start of season 2. And it's got a new paint scheme, new pylons, other details that are the same. Maybe even no bridge window. It's probably in here, but you know, maybe not so. I think the maybe. I think possibly that the top bridge dome, which has a back piece, has been tweaked slightly to have less of a big back piece. I think. And also, yeah, the front view's different. They've changed the front view from John Eve's concept. That's much more Connie-like. That's my vote. I think. Anyway, I'll do that tomorrow. But yeah, my vote is that at the end of season 2, we see the Enterprise, and it's mostly refitted into what we know. The scales are now fixed because now we see work bees and things at the proper scale. And then and then maybe it ends with Discovery being refitted at the end of season 2. Now with this new sense of we're pushing forward to the new tech of whatever, and then season 3
and rebuilding the fleet. Yeah.
Season 3 it comes back and it's refitted back in, and you have this odd 3-season arc of it was somewhere radical, which is the spore drop technology, and then it came back to the canon, and they've successfully sort of brought us back.
Yes.
Stuart, you're complete. Stuart, I want your complete thoughts on this matter, please. Let me know.
Well, they mirror yours pretty closely, but I do think that this is probably the result of the end of the season. The Enterprise does get damaged or something during the course of this mission, and this is the proposed refit that they're going to do for the new Constitution class builds. And why not refit the Enterprise? I don't know. I don't know if they'll address the size issue. I don't think they will even mention it.
Safer
Just
not
have
to.
it on screen there. Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah, and I'm fine with that, because then, like I said, even after this refit's done, you still got 7 years before Kirk gets command, 7 years to change a few other little things to make it exactly like the TOS Enterprise. But that being said, you know, we saw the cage one, but
again, that is the one I'm okay to. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, to be all fairness to them, we're now seeing. I mean, the Majel Roddenberry character, number 1, is going to get more screen time in episode 1 of Discovery than she might have got the entire pilot of Cage.
Trek Gamer, look. Trek Gamer wants to see a Larson class in Discovery, but I got a Larson class right here, so hopefully that makes him happy.
Thomas Harrog, shouldn't we regard TOS same as TAS? Partly canon, we can pick and choose the bits that work, ignore those that don't. Well, TAS was never intended to be, like, after a bit of time, it was you know, stricken, and things in it are a bit silly, a bit, you know, all over the place because it's a cartoon. You know, the TOS was built in a very different way, and then TNG was built ignoring then TAS. So no, a TOS is a gold standard, and things that don't work, you look at why. Mostly they don't work because they came first, without any but wider universe. And so you look at what came later, and you say, right, well, you know. Warp 23 was because an alien changed them because there was a previous warp scale. Like, very simple things went a long way. You know,
but you got to take into account the fact that Deep Space Nine, TNG, and Enterprise. Every time you saw this era, the TOS era, it was represented faithfully to look like it did. They went out of their way to make sure that was the case. So. Yeah. And check PayPal at Trekyards. Thanks for the great job. I will check PayPal while you talk. You had something to say.
And it's funny because if you go back to our very earliest of things, but we said you can visually update TOS. You can. The way you do it is you take the look of a ship and you put it further away and you squint and you say, oh, that's the same as the original. As soon as you get up close, it's got higher detail. It's got things that are like, ooh, this is more, because you say, okay, TOS had this coat of Vaseline that when you wipe it away, oh look, some of these little buttons you see on the panels, you move that away, and oh no, they were just raised touch panel pieces, and the displays, oh no, they're all moving. Oh, the bridge looks the same, has the same shape. Oh, it's 10% bigger. We never got a sense of that because of the lenses. And oh look, you know, all these little mechanicalisms are replaced, and it's like, okay, you're sort of ruining TOS, but also you're making a modern show, but you're basing it on something rather than saying out the window, do something new. That is acceptable, and this is as a visual reboot is interesting. And it's, I mean, come on, this version is just infinitely better than JJ to a T. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you said the one thing you said back in the day when this first came out. I would have preferred straight struts. There you go, straight struts. Boom.
Yeah. I just checked PayPal. There was a $5 donation. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Thank you, sir.
And Eric just put in $2. I only hope now, after all this crap, prequels end. Yes. Yes. I kind of agree with that. Anyway. I think we should call that quits for tonight.
According to Memory Alpha, TAS is canon. No, one episode of TAS is canon. The rest is dubious at best.
It's all canon now. They've officially said it's all canon.
And I've said to you before, I want to see the official statement from CBS about that, because until I see an official statement, I'm not going to believe that.
I'll find it.
Please do, because it doesn't make too much sense.
It doesn't really matter. It doesn't change anything anyway. You just, if you like an episode, you just say it's canon. If you don't like it, you just disregard it. It's
but it's more just when you write new things. You know, do you take into account this has this as this? Because if TAS is canon, then whatever, it changes things a bit, like things with what's his name, Robert April. If TAS is canon, that's the actual Robert April. He has to look that way. His wife's that name. That's his personality. You know what I mean? When you start building in, it's like stuff they never intended to go beyond. Which episode TAS is canon? It's the Spock one, yesteryear. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, guys, please throw us some quick super chat questions. We'd love to see any of your thoughts. If you can, support the channel for the last 10 minutes before we go. What do you think? We will read them out. Let us know what you think. And yeah. Oh, the fun we have. Oh, the fun we have.
Right. Yeah, I don't have a problem saying that TAS, the animated series, is canon, because there's some really good, really well-written episodes of
yeah, I just wouldn't give it a blanket canon. I would pick and choose, like what Gene wanted to do, is just pick and choose the ones he wanted. That's fine. And someone did point out on another page, I think it's just a production error. Graphics team made the original graphic based on the file concept. Sweatback Pylons likely was a very late change. The problem that is doesn't make sense timeline-wise, because this is a season 2 still. And they guess what? They only filmed what they filmed in season 1, and this graphic was not on the screens. So without, yes, they might have known they were getting renewed for season 2, but you wouldn't necessarily start making graphics for season 2 during season 1, knowing you're not going to use them for season 2, for season 1, sorry, put them into storage based on a faulty concept, and then not make a new one with season 2 budget to reflect your things shown on screen, something that's clearly forefront of camera. So it doesn't make any sense. Whereas if they're done, whereas this makes most sense that this is a still from the end of season 2, which they're filming now, and reshoots. To be fair, this could be a reshoot, a very, very easy reshoot of, oh, it gets refitted, blah blah blah, you know. And then this is, like I say, the end of season 2 screen cap, and they're choosing it to get some really, really good press, saying, it's fine, guys, begin season 1, you see what it is, we've already made that, we can't change it now, but end of season 2, that's where the stuff happens. I just don't see it likely that it's such a backward, especially since it's not even got final paint schemes. This is long before. This is so many months before they even shot the final episode. You know what I mean? This is long before that it wouldn't have made sense, because we know John was working this Enterprise for a couple of months before the end of the season.
And we just showed his final version, which doesn't even look like this one. This one's been visually updated from that even.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
If Subject 5's 75 decks is canon, then so is TAS and Discovery. That's called stupidity. You're welcome to think that, but production errors are still production errors, and you can still throw a couple away. Like Discovery, you can throw away the production error of it's too big in season 1. That's fine. You can throw away 75 decks. You can throw away Enterprise E's, then mentioning 23 decks got 21 or whatever. And you can throw away the Bird of Prey being 3 sizes in one movie. Yeah. Those are production errors in movies that had low budgets, had limited budgets, had limited time, that, you know, they were rushed films, whatever. Discovery is the highest budget, most time to film, least episodes, biggest production team, biggest graphic department of any Trek ever. These mistakes, how do you justify them on such a big production with so much over, and the most scrutinized of all time?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. It's not a Sonic 3 that might or might not work, and oh, it doesn't matter because we just need the shot to work, and we've only got the budget for 7 VFX shots. They've got to work. is not the same thing. 75 decks was a stupid mistake that one art team did. He stenciled it on, and then no one checked. And Shatner didn't know, did he? So, yeah, it's different, you know?
John Atherky puts in $5.
Thanks, sir.
What do you think the ultimate fate of the Discovery ship will be? Self-destruct, collision course, mothballed? I think it'll probably disappear, to be honest. Get sucked through the mycelial network to somewhere we don't know, 1,000 years in the future, maybe. And eventually it might show up again, but I think it's just something's going to happen to it and it's going to disappear. What did I miss? Was it Kirk on Farragut at this time being chased by a killer cloud? Yep. But implosion. Well, yeah, I could see it imploding through the mycelial network.
The displays in season 1 that shows that Discovery staff for shortness cells. Also true. We had lots of hope on that.
Yeah.
But that was also because they had to be building Discovery Bridge at the same time as Shinjo Bridge to get it all done in time. So that was done actually at the start of production when VFX models weren't even finished. So that's a little bit different because that was like everyone's working at the same time. All the costumes making stuff, all the set people making the same stuff. This is not the same. You know, you haven't got the same. You know what I mean? It's time is important and context is important. Oh, thanks, Alistair. Love you too, man. And yeah, how many few episodes of the budget? Yeah. I do think that Discovery is the least budget conscious show of all the Treks. You know, Enterprise made more episodes on less budget that arguably looked better in many ways. Okay, and Discovery is less interesting with more money. It's bizarre. It really is. Because like we said before, a lot that went on cast. And I guarantee Scott Bakula's not the sort of guy that demands a massive paycheck compared to the dude from Harry Potter. All power to him, but I don't think they charge the same. And that's fine. But I don't think they charge the same. Yeah.
John throws in another $2. Thank you. Do you think CBS All Access is working out? I have no idea. I've heard a lot of people complain about it, but I've heard just as many people say that they have it. So I have no idea. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think it's a stupid idea on CBS's part, personally. But
the thing is, it's not if it was open worldwide.
Yeah, exactly. There were displays showing that Shinzo had 7 decks originally. Yep. Yeah.
And again, that was put in as they were building the sets at the start of season 1 before they started filming. This is a diagram put in season 2 for season 2 after they were shown Discovery. A little bit different.
A lot different.
Yeah, because even if it was in the scene of season 1, then we would have seen it, and they would have shown it. And if they didn't show it, it would be a waste of money and time, and they definitely wouldn't show it now. If they're showing a production still from season 1, which we know he didn't direct that season ender, like, actually, to be fair, yeah, we know that isn't season 1 because he didn't direct the season finale. So you can probably tell, if they, once we're in the directors, we'll probably know exactly, it's like, oh, it's episode 8. It's like, it resurfaces in episode 8.
But anyway, guys, I think we're going to call it quits. I want to get going, so thank you very much for the super chats. John throws in $3. What do you think the Tarantino Trek will be about? Oh my god.
No idea. Anything. Easy.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Tarantino. I love Trek. I just don't know if the two go together very well. We'll see. But yeah.
So thanks, guys, and tune in tomorrow for a shorter. Well, this wasn't even that long a live, to be fair. We could go on for longer, and I've posted on all of our forums, and obviously lots and lots of people are going to be talking about that, and I can't obviously follow all that. So, you know, come back in and talk about it tomorrow and such.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. So we're filming tomorrow to get this ready for you guys, and I'm sure you'll see it sometime.
Cool. So thanks so much, and we'll see you later. And bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Good evening. Bye.